How you guys doing?
What's the biggest challenge from like your own standpoint of preparing for a Thursday night game? Is it that you guys have done it obviously a few years now?
Yeah, it's a great challenge, obviously, for Thursday night games. You go from Sunday to Thursday, and you got a big game coming up. And I think the biggest thing is, the preparation part of it. You have to be able to prepare at a very, very high level and process and be very efficient with your time and what it takes to be ready to go. So that's the thing that we're excited about. We do it really, really well as a whole team, and me and Austin and stuff. We in the quarterback room, we have a really good plan on how to study and how to plan. So that's a good thing for us.
After a typical Sunday, when's your body feel normal, somewhat normal again?
Well, typically, it's usually Thursday. I feel normal again. It's playing football. It's a very physical game, but I always have a plan, as you guys know. Really take care of myself and treat myself like crazy in terms of treatment and everything else, and prehab I call it. But yeah, that's a key point. Just making sure that you're resting as much as you can in terms of moving around and stuff, and also you're icing your body down and getting the hot tub, cold tub. I swim a lot, so that really helps too as well.
Mentally, is it important to get away from the game during a regular week, just one day to kind of rest your head? You know what I'm saying? This week you can't do that, right?
Yeah, I don't really ever get away from it, honestly. But I do think that as you guys know, I go to Children's, and that really is the best part of my week every week. And then I think there's other times too where you just try to, like, one of the things that I try to do is when I come home, I try to be home. I'm here all day, but when I go home, I try to be with the family and Sierra and baby Future and baby Sienna. So I really try to make sure I spend that time and that one-on-one time, and I kind of that's kind of what gets me way more than anything else too.
When you say you're home, like, do you shut off like all social access and you're just present with family, like you're saying?
Yeah, it depends. For the most part, I try to. I think that one of the things that's I think is really fun to do is we just watch our shows and find something to gravitate to. I think that's always really important to spend that quality time with your family and tuck the kids in bed or whatever it may be. So I think that's always key.
What shows do you watch?
I watch a bunch of different shows. We're almost done with Narcos right now, so we have one more episode of Narcos. Season 3, episode 10. So we're on that. But we have we don't try not to watch it without each other because she's busy, I'm busy, so we try to find our time. So, but yeah, it's Narcos is pretty good.
You guys have on Thursday nights. You guys have been really good on those, and even going on the road, which is typically regarded as being harder just because of the quick turnaround and all that. Have you been able to put your finger on what you guys have done well in those situations?
Yeah, I think it's very simple. I think it always comes down to the preparation. How you prepare. How you're processing things throughout the week, and how you're taking care of your body is really, really critical. I don't think that people really understand the physical nature of the game. After the game, you watch it and it's all fun and it's entertaining and everything else. But when you watch, when you Sunday night, Monday morning, especially Tuesday, Wednesday, those are usually pretty tough physical days for everyone, not just me, but everyone. No matter what position you play, and so it's key to have your time for that body to heal. But the good thing too is about Thursday games, though, I will say, is that you have the weekend off, so you get to watch your college football games, you get to watch the other NFL games. That's the benefit of it.
Russell, being that you're a quarterback that doesn't necessarily look to run, what do you make of being the leading rusher on this team 2 weeks in a row?
Well, I think we got to do whatever it takes to win. I think we're doing a really good job in terms of finding ways to win. Unfortunately, last week we didn't, but we had a chance. And so I think that, in terms of the rushing part, that's just definitely part of our game. It always has been, really, for 5-6 years, for the most part. And so, that's not a negative thing. I do think that we can run the ball better, though. I think that we can commit to that and do a really good job of, getting the spreading out some holes for guys like Eddie and Thomas and CJ and JD and those guys. I think that will come. I think that will happen. But we got to stay the course, and I do think that our passing game's doing a really good job right now. Guys are making great plays. We have great confidence in that, and we still have great confidence in our running game. And we believe that through hard work, great things will happen, and we just got to stay the course.
How long does it take you to get up to speed, do you think, or develop the chemistry with your new left tackle?
No time at all. Honestly, it's actually been kind of amazing to watch how impressive, Dwayne Brown is. He's a true, Pro Bowl, All-Pro type player, a guy who's done it for years. And that's where that experience and that knowledge and that understanding of the game, that just the actual playing ball. There's not too many things you can substitute for playing ball. I mean, at the end of the day, it comes down to getting out there and getting on the field and playing between the white lines, and he's done that at a very, very high level and one of the best in the world at it. And so in terms of his demeanor, in terms of his knowledge of the game, in terms of his ability to process and take things in and play at a high level, he played great the other night. I mean, great football. And to think about that, and it's pretty impressive. And that's a tribute to him and his hard work and his years of success.
Russell, Pete mentioned yesterday that where there were a couple of 3 opportunities in the game where you ran and maybe missed an opportunity downfield. Were you more eager to run in this game early in the game than perhaps others?
No, I think that I think just things kind of things kind of happen. You just play ball. I think that we had some really big plays down the field. And we had some great opportunities through the scramble game, and we had Doug on that 60-yarder. And that got called back, so that kind of, so there was moments there, and there was times where I stepped up and tried to take a shot and see what would happen. And for whatever reason, we didn't always come down with those, or we didn't make those plays. And well, if it was me or anybody else, and so I think that I don't play scared. I don't try to think too much. I just play ball, and try to trust my instincts and trust what I see when I know, and then go from there. And usually it turns out pretty good for us.
Do you feel the coaches of the team want you to stay in the pocket more to help your linemen?
No, I don't think so at all. I think we just I think that a lot of times I've been in the pocket. Last game I was able to get out a little bit more, but I don't think that's a concern or anything like that.
Russell, how big of a rivalry do you think you have between you guys and the Cardinals?
Well, it's an NFC matchup, NFC West matchup. It's one of those things that it's, 2 great teams, who have great players on both sides, on offense and defense, on both teams, and so. I think it's one of those things that, whenever you go down to Arizona and they come to us, we know it's going to be, a heavyweight fight, and we know it's going to be one of those games that you really respect the players on the other side of the ball, and you love that. You want those type of matchups and those type of moments because that's what you play for. You play to play great teams and great players, and you'll definitely see that come Thursday night.
Russ, if you were Adrian Peterson's coach after he carried the ball 37 times on Sunday and had to come back and play a Thursday game, how many carries would you limit him to on Thursday? I would try to give him 38. Adrian, I would try to give him 38. Adrian's, AD all day. He's one of the best football players to ever play the game. Honestly, to watch him, and I've been around him several times, and been able to spend time with him at the Pro Bowl and stuff, and just watching him and his process and. Just how he works. Like I said, you can't compare anything to his work ethic, and so that's why he's so great.
Russell, can you put your finger on, Pete talked about just shooting yourselves in the foot a little bit and some of the things that you guys are doing have to get out of your way. Can you put your finger on sometimes why that happens, what's responsible for that? That's
a great question. Sometimes you want to start fishing to try to figure out, okay, how can we stop the penalties or this or that. I think it's just we have to be a little bit smarter in the moment, and just understand that, especially, on certain plays or certain things, it's never, it's actually a worse thing to do, if that makes sense, like especially holding calls. Holdings are the worst penalties in football, no matter what side you're on, if you're offense, defense, whatever. When you get that call, because, let's say that you have, a punt return, for example, and you take it all the way back, then it brings it all the way back and then minus some. So those are tough. Those are tough calls, and I think for us, we're playing hard. That's the thing for us. That's the exciting part is we're playing as tough as we can play, and that's what we want. We just got to be a little bit smarter, and I know that we will do that, and we'll fix that.
Anything else? Thanks, Ross.
Thank you, guys. Go Hawks.